Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, where I'm going to be taking on the Sincere Strength Cosmos quest from the Cinque character event that's just released. And I still think it's a little bit ridiculous that she's called Cinque and not Sank, but that's a completely different matter entirely. For this one, I'm going to be bringing along a team of Noctis, Warrior of Light, and Paine, with a Rinoa friend and a Shiva summon. So, Cinque is one of those characters that looks really fun on paper. Like, you look at her EX and what it does, and it is just absolutely one of the most ridiculous EXs we have in the game right now, because, you know, she kind of just sort of spins around and just is literal spin to win. She goes up to, I don't know, I've seen her hit all nines, like it's simply 100k damage, and then she knocks the enemy back by one turn, and then she batteries the party, and then launches the enemy. It is like literally the perfect launch setup, all built into one skill. It is incredible. Unfortunately, as a trade-off for how powerful the EX is, it is probably one of, if not the most, the slowest charging EX skill in the game, on the slowest character in the game. And her kit is really just not doing it for me, to be honest, because she's all about building up stacks. She builds up stacks of a unique debuff called Stun on the enemy, and then when the total amount of stun debuffs is over a certain number, I think it's 4, she gets access to more powerful versions of her 2 skills. And the powerful versions are quite strong because they do go up to 200% overflow and they deal a ton of damage. But they are also, as far as I'm aware, the only skills in the game that you can use on your own characters that have a low turn rate. Yes, that's right. I mean, there's plenty of skills in the game that have high turn rate that give you turns more frequently, but the ones with the low turn rate literally push her back. And if that wasn't bad enough, they also consume the stun debuffs on the target that you hit. So you're almost never going to want to use the plus version of her first skill, the Earthquake one, because it's just going to get rid of all the stun debuffs if you have more than one enemy, which is just really unfortunate. So I can kind of get where they were going from her kit. You know, she's supposed to be this kind of cute little girl who's just swinging around a big fuck-off heavy mace and, wrecking face with it. She kind of reminds me of like a Priestess type. From Tales of Symphonia, if any of you played that, but obviously she's Cinque's not a lolly, but she does have the kind of little girl big weapon thing going on, and it's got some heft behind it. But unfortunately, the balance just doesn't work out in terms of the numbers that they gave her in the game. So for someone like myself that hasn't played Type 0 yet, I keep saying I'm going to play it, and I keep intending to. I mean, they say that the path to hell is paved with good intentions, but I do plan on playing it eventually. But I don't really have any significant attachment to her character, so seeing as her kit in this game is a little bit subpar, she's kind of an easy skip for me, unfortunately. I know there are some people out there who really like her, and to those people I wish the best of luck on the pulls. I know there's another content creator called Soul DFFOO, amazing stand-up guy. Anyone on this channel has probably been referred by him at some point, otherwise I'm really not sure where all of you have come from, if I'm going to be honest. And I know that he really likes Cinque, so I look forward to seeing what he can do, especially when Selfie EX is released, because the Aura EX buff that Selfie gets literally increases the EX charge rate of everyone else. So it's really good for slow EXs like Vayne, like Rinoa, like Cinque. It can kind of help them, be better and or less useless. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I've seen Cinque's EX Plus, and it is one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. Like, I was cackling like a madman for 2 minutes straight, because it's like, it's what it does now, but scaled up to the EX Plus era. It's just absolutely bonkers. Like launches for over 200,000-300,000 damage easy. But it still has most of the same drawbacks. Unfortunately, it's just kind of the numbers have just increased as far as I'm aware. So I'll go ahead and show the artifacts I've got for this one. So this boss. So let's see. I did some nominal artifact farming for Noctis. As you can see with the 65 CS50s I've got, definitely not my first choice. But I'm probably not going to go in any harder on Noct for now, because he seems to be performing well enough without artifacts, because he does such high damage on most of his hits, and he has that split attack mechanism where he does like a follow-up attack, so he doesn't really need much more max brave than he's got already. He just needs a lot of attack power and maybe enough max brave so that he doesn't leak when he uses skills. Warrior of Light's kind of like whatever. They're the one, you can't really go wrong with anything that you give him. They're the ones I've got for now. I'll do some proper farming when Chaos hits, because he's going to need proper artifacts when Chaos hits, but until then you can just kind of give him whatever, and as long as he's got a lot of max brave, then he's probably going to do alright. And for Paine, Now, I've got some relatively decent artifacts for Paine, but they're not my first choice. I'm not usually a big fan of CS50s like this. If I could help it, I would have 108. I mean, to be honest, Paine's CS50 is probably one of the better ones because it buffs everything. But if I had my choice, I would actually go with triple 108 330 because she can really make use of the overflow cap. Unfortunately, I managed to get a literally perfect Firion with triple 108 330s, and I have not seen a single one for Paine yet. So I'm just going to say screw it. I do not have enough. I do not have the gems and the books to spend chasing artifacts for Paine any longer. If I want to get better ones, then I'm just going to be waiting for the revamped World of Illusion, which is coming at the end of the month, and I am really looking forward to that. And by looking forward to it, I mean I am looking forward to lessening the grind. I'm not looking forward to the grind itself, because the grind is a grind and it sucks. So this boss doesn't resist magic. So you can. This is probably one of the first bosses since I pulled for Alice where I can actually bring her along, and I did try it, but unfortunately, because it's an Atlas rip-off, it's built like a literal brick shithouse, both literally and figuratively, and so its defense is extremely high. And for someone like Alice with pretty low potencies on her attacks, she doesn't do that much damage. She needs a lot of support. So I am probably going to wait until Ramza rework comes out in level 70, and when you get him built up, I'm probably going to do another video for this with like a free turns team, and I'm going to have like Alice, Vayne, and like Ramza, and see how that goes. But for this one, this is the team that I'm sticking with, because Paine, even though every one of Paine's turns is countered, I think she seriously does about as much damage per turn as Vayne does, if not more, because she hits that much harder, and she also increases the team stats by more as well. I'm bringing Shiva Summon because the boss does have an ice weakness. I would bring Bahamut, to be honest, because Bahamut actually increases the damage by more. It's 1.8 times versus 1.5 times. And I don't really need the speed buffs because WoL is the GOAT and he just blocks everything with his huge fuck-off shields. But Shiva does actually make the opening waves a bit easier because it gives everyone turns at the start of the wave, which just kind of helps things go that much more smoothly. So that's why I'm bringing Shiva. And I'm bringing a Rinoa friend support for Trash Clear, because that's the only thing. The one weakness this team has is that everybody's single target, because they're all built for a single target boss, so they have no wave clearing capabilities. So Rinoa is there to plug that gap. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Let's jump in and see how we do. Okay, so Paine's definitely the one I want to swap out for Rinoa. Let's see here. Is it worth... Yeah, because it would take 3 attacks to clear this wave. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna swap her out anyway. That's fine, that's totally fine. Let's get the shields up on everyone, and the overkills, and Rinoa should be first turn, next turn, so yep, that's nice, that's what I wanted. Except that Noctis takes the first turn, which is not what I wanted. But the middle enemy has less health, so that means that I can use... well, I could use Shooting Star to take out C, but I'm going to use Warp Strike instead, because I want to keep Shooting Star to get the point blank warp debuff on the enemies in the next wave. So I'll just take out C, and then Rinoa should be able to take out A here, and B as well. There we go. Which works out perfectly. Then I can use Shooting Star on A. So I stick them both with Point Blank Warp, and we can use Rinoa's EX. And this works out rather well. It also allows me to do a nice launch setup. So I think it's actually a better idea here to do Brave Plus with Renoir. Because we can then do this. Let's see. Okay, so I could use Warp Strike Plus here and finish off this enemy, but what I'm actually going to do is use the regular Shooting Star, because that means I can use Shooting Star Plus at the beginning of the next wave, and that will just basically get me launch points, if I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure that I trust in WoL to actually be able to kill this thing, but I'll try anyway. Nice, he actually does. I didn't expect that. So this works out perfectly. I'll use Shooting Star on A, because that will, you know, move Noctis' next turn before A. Reno is obviously gonna HP attack there. Oh, and look at this! Oh damn! Like that did work out with the turn rate there. Yeah. Never mind. Let's try this. No overkill there, unfortunately. Come on, Paine, get turn rate. Yes! Hahaha! That's what I wanted. 3-man launch, baby. Doesn't make a difference, it's just for the points, you know. Overkills and launches, they all help to raise score for people who care about such things. So we absolutely need to stick this thing with a break attack. So now we have a rather interesting looking turn order. So I'm just going to use Shooting Star, the regular one, and we'll stick it with Point Blank Warp. So that will allow me to use a Warp Strike Plus. And then I can use Conjure Armiger. So that'll get his Armiger stacks up to 4. Okay, so definitely not using Throw Buckler there, not a chance. Just do this for now. So this is rather nice. Okay, so I'm actually going to prep to go into summon here. So I'm going to use Throw Buckler and get turn rate for some inexplicable reason. So I could use Sword Dance here, to be honest, and go into summon, but the problem with that is that Noctis doesn't have his additional abilities up. So What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delay it for one more turn. I'm going to use Black Sky here. So do I launch here? Because if I summon here, then I can launch, and then I can use EX with, yeah, here is where we'll do it. We'll go and summon here. Oh god damn it! I just realised I didn't get my additional ability off on Paine, but it's tough. It's tough shit. This is a pretty good setup as it is. No one ever said it had to be perfect. Should go up to 97 anyway. There we go. So not perfect, but good enough. And we're definitely not going to use Throw Buckler there, because that would be silly. Yeah, we've got one of those left. So if I use HP++ here, that's probably just going to do like 50k damage, but it's going to be like 20k, so that's 37, and then it becomes 67 basically. So we'll do more. Will we do more damage? Because if we use the EX, we have 20% overflow. 20% of 62,000 is 6.2, 12,000. No, we'll actually do more damage if we use the EX here, to be honest. So I think I'll just use the EX. Because of the overflow, this should go up to like about 75. There we go. Excellent. So this is where we're probably going to take some HP damage. Yeah, unfortunately, we had no way of really dealing with that. Damn, and I got stuck with debuffs as well. I should have used Throw Buckler for the elude. Never mind. We live and learn. It feels like such a waste for those really powerful brave attacks during the chase that that Paine has, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is going to be like a, what, 40 turn finish, 41 turns. have done it better than this in the past, so unfortunately my best runs are never recorded. That's just how it goes with me, unfortunately. 41 turns it is. Oh well. Finish it off. Okay, so I mean, not the cleanest run ever, but we, you know, we didn't do that badly. It really does bring home how much more powerful characters like Noctis and Paine are at the moment in the level 70 era. Because I've actually tried running this with characters like I had the old Rydia, Serah, Sephiroth combo going, and Sephiroth actually does put out pretty competent damage in that lineup, but the longevity is just not there. Like, Noctis lasts forever and he does amazing damage the whole time. So I think that's really one of his strong points right now. Regardless, that'll be my clear for this event, so I hope everyone enjoyed watching, and until the next time, I will see you all later. Take care.